Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ethics. We are here for our Bournemouth preview. It is me, Connor Bromley. It is Taff All Ending joining me to talk all things Bournemouth. And I've got a few things to obviously a lot of things to talk about. To be fair, but I feel like the logical place to start, even though you'd probably normally do this at the end, I feel like I want to start with the sort of lineup prediction and formation to start with because
Yeah.
I think that that's the most glaring thing coming out of the Fulham game. So I'm just going to fire you how I would line up for this game, and then I just want you to respond. So my team lineup would be Roofs. Then I'd have Ronaldo at left back, Alderete and Ballard at centre back. I would have Mukiele at right back. I'd have Xhaka, Siddiqui, Lefay as a midfield three. I'd have Talby on the left, Brobby through the middle, and then Traore on the right. So that is how I would approach this game. Respond.
Uh, I quite like a lot of that. I might be tempted to have Mayenda instead of Traore on the right. Mayenda has pace as well, and he's got more physique to hold the ball up. Um, so I might be tempted to do that. I mean, it's a bit of a shame that Chris Rigg doesn't get a look in these days. I think the lad has some talent and some defensive discipline. I think that he can also do a job out on the right. That's where he first started playing for us. And you think of that Villa game, he was excellent until he had to come off. He had to be the man sacrificed. So I wouldn't discount him. Uh, I just feel like, I mean, Traore, I get why he's there. He's disciplined defensively. He offers width and pace. But, I mean, he provides the goal at Chelsea because of his discipline and positioning. But I think that, you know, I think that Mayenda and Rig can offer the same kind of discipline under instruction. So I don't know. I don't mind that lineup. Uh, Talby has improved defensively, but you've got Lefay. I actually think is a little bit lightweight in terms of Premier League defending in that midfield. Siddiqui and Xhaka are presumably going to hang back, and Lefay is going to float in a sort of eight position, two sixes and an eight. I mean, some people hate that kind of language. I don't know. Is that what you mean? How do you see that midfield three?
So I see that midfield three operating
Catching
as,
to the triangle wingers.
yeah, I don't see it be. I think I see Xhaka in his normal position. I basically just see Lefay doing what Diarra does because Diarra was a bit more attacking than what Siddiqui
Do you
was
want
in the.
Lefay and Traore linking up on the right with
To be honest,
Mukiele, Lefay, and Traore, and then on the other
I
side, Ronaldo, Talby, and Siddiqui? That's how it would be.
pretty much, yeah. I mean, I'm not. I would. I mean, you know that I've been trying to advocate my ender on the right wing. The only reason I put Traore in there is because I don't think he'll do that because he's not done it yet. I think he seems to like Traore, so you'll put him in there. But yeah, I think that for me right now, playing that midfield three of Xhaka, Siddiqui, and Lefay, I think that even though Lefay does have, we saw in the Arsenal game when he was central, he did make two pretty glaring errors where he gave the ball away. But I think Bournemouth, obviously not as good as Arsenal, even though they are a good team. But I think Lefay can cause problems. He's creative. I think we do lack a central creative player. I think that's been an issue that we've had pretty much all season because I don't think Diarra is massively creative in terms of defense splitting passes. And I think having Lefay central, he should see more of the ball. And the benefit of that is we get to see Talby on the left wing, where I think if you were rating Talby out of 10, when he's on the left, he's possibly an 8. And when he's on the right, I would say he's like a 2 or a 3. Like I feel like he's almost redundant being on the right wing. So
I
I want
think
to see
he's
Talby
getting,
out on the left.
yeah, he's getting better, but I don't think Lefay works so well on the right. Well, I don't mind your formation. That's not bad. I think that it's a shame that Rigg is not getting any mention in conversation here. He could do a job for us if he can start against Aston Villa.
If
Then why can't he start for us on the right against Bournemouth?
Are you saying on the right wing, or are you saying on the
Right
right of
wing,
centre
yeah,
mid?
right wing.
See, I think that if he plays Lefay on the left instead of Talby, then but keeps this formation, then I would have Rig in the central position. I think though that for me, I
And would
still
you
want
then play Traore? Would you then play Talby on the right instead of Traore, or not at all?
I wouldn't play Talby. I don't think there's any point of playing Talby on the right wing. I think you play him on the left wing or you don't play him. I don't get it. It
And
infuriates me actually whenever I'm seeing Talby come on the right wing. It
that's
is.
the angriest I've seen you.
It's my biggest. Well, because it does me head in because it doesn't work. It's like redundant. It's a ridiculous thing to do because he can't play there. Whereas if you play
I look forward
Lefay,
to him.
if you play Lefay though on the right wing, right, the pros and cons of this is I think Lefay can do a steady job on the right wing and do what you sort of need him to do. And you get the attacking thing that we see from Talby, that we saw at Chelsea, that we've seen at times when you put on the left wing. And I feel like just giving Lefay that left side just so he can cut inside and maybe have a shot. Like, just put Talby out there. Put Lefay on the other side.
Okay. So, I mean, you're definitely on propaganda if he scores from the right wing at the weekend.
I hope he does.
Yeah.
But he's just not a right winger.
Okay. And no place for Wilson. I mean, I understand Broby. I quite like him. I think he's earned a chance and increasingly looks good. But at home, we will, and I checked the weather. How sad. I think it matters. It's going to be pretty sunny. There'll be little chance of rain. So balls in behind for Wilson to chase. Wilson has been great at home. He's very much a confidence player. He'll be up for it. He'll want to score again. The crowd will be right behind him. And I don't see that Le Bris starts with anybody else apart from Isidore, although I wouldn't mind having Broby up there. But I think Broby is going to have to wait for his start at least one more game.
See, I think that it's situational for me. I think that in this game, I would rather have Isidore coming on for the last 30 minutes than I would Broby coming on for the last 30 minutes in a game like this. Because against Arsenal, Broby being that sort of physical battering ram against a defence that is very physical, I could sort of see the argument for that. Wilson kind of sort of tires them out by his running, and then you get Broby to come on who can be that battering ram at the end. Whereas I think this game it's almost reversed. I think you want Broby to wear down the defence because he's physical and can bring players into the game, and then you bring Isidore on. And then the other thing with bringing Isidore on is we get the other thing that I've really wanted to see all season, which is Isidore and Mayenda on the same pitch at the same time, because you can make that change where you can get Isidore up front and Mayenda up front for the last 30 minutes.
We have to talk about Bournemouth's strengths then. They are pretty strong and resilient at the back. They've got two pretty fine centre-halves in Bafoda Diakite, who we were trying to sign, and he went to Bournemouth instead of us, and Sinisi. They're both pretty tough. So do you think that Broby can dominate them and wear them down? Or, I mean, they're pretty good positionally. Is your better chance to say these are big, strong, experienced defenders, and actually we might be better off trying to play around them and pass them or over them. I think you have that's got to come into your thinking.
I think it does, but I think I would look at Bournemouth's defence in a similar, even though they play a different formation, similar like Brentford's defence, because like Nathan Collins is a proper strapping centre back who's physical. Aya, I can't remember who played centre, but the other centre back that day, but Christoph Aya plays in there. I think that Isidore came on in that game, and because they were a bit tired, was able to cause issues. And I think I agree.
I like Isidore coming on when people are tired. Yeah,
this is a similar sort of thing for me. I think the ideal for Sunderland in this game, in my opinion, is that we at 60-ish minutes are at 0-0, or obviously winning. I mean, obviously the ideal is you're 5-0 up, but the plan will be to be at 60 minutes at 0-0 or something to 0, and then it gives Le Bris a chance to tinker the team in a way that can give us a chance to win the game in the last 30 minutes. My issue is that Broby coming on for the last 30 minutes, he doesn't have that link up with Mayenda that Isidore has, and I would rather have Mayenda and Isidore coming on together to give us that attacking threat if we need a goal, if we need to I think what I'm basically trying to say is I trust Wilson Isidore to, if we need a goal in the game, get us a goal in the last 30 minutes more than I would Brobby, even though Brobby did score against Arsenal in the last minute.
Yeah. I think they've got a good backline, Bournemouth. Truffert has stepped into, is it Kirkesh that's old, isn't it?
Yeah, Kirkes has been absolutely honking at Liverpool.
And Truffert stepped into that space. I think their weakest link on the backline is probably Cook at right back, which is perhaps a good reason to want to play Talby there to attack him. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Get him on there.
Okay.
You don't have to sell me on playing Talby on the left.
Do you think we'll score?
Yeah. We've scored in every home game.
I know, it's great, isn't it? I always think we're going to score these days. I sent you a link. Why didn't you just pop that, if you can share that link on the screen there? Because this is based on FB Ref, and it talks about goalkeepers and which goalkeepers have, in open play, which ones have saved the most number of goals. So it's that, and we can see there the best goalkeeper, apparently Dean Henderson. He's saved 4 goals or 4 points. I can't remember which way them anyway. And you can scroll down here. Obviously, Martin Dubravka gets many chances to save goals because they do many shots. So you have to be a bit careful about this. But here comes Roofs at 5. But if you keep going down, what I'm interested in is trying to find out where Petrovic is, who we tried to sign before Roofs. Where are you now? 22, 24?
Where is 24.
Oh, there he is. The equal 24th. He has conceded more goals than your goalkeeper should do. And that's the guy we very desperately tried to sign instead of Roofs or before Roofs. So have we dodged a bullet there? He's like the second worst goalkeeper in the division after Sarr for Wolves, according to those open play statistics. Now, obviously, he's not a bad goalkeeper. He has made some great saves. But that's interesting because clearly they can be exposed there, and there's more. I think I can't.
There's
I
more.
have to type this to you. There's more. There's more that we should be hopeful about because Senesi and at the back is on a yellow. He's on 4 yellow cards, and actually they've got 4 of their starters on 4 yellow cards. Senesi, David Brooke, although I don't know if David Brooke starts actually. Adams on the right wing, and Jimenez as well. So Adams is in the centre, I think, and Jimenez. So they've got 4 players on yellow cards. If they pick up a yellow card for one of them, let's say, it means that the others can't really pick up yellow cards in that game because they don't want to go into the next game with 4 players from their squad suspended. And their next game after us is going to be, are you looking at it? Everton. They don't want to go into Everton, a team at home, a team that they think they could beat, having just suddenly suspended 4 players. So I think there's a lot here defensively that is going for us. I think we've got some space against Cook on the left. I think their goalkeeper in open play is perhaps a bit more susceptible than we might give them credit for. Give us credit for. And I think that they have so many players on 4 bookings that if they get an early yellow card, it's going to make some of the rest of those players have to be different because they cannot go into a home game at Everton losing 4 players in a match against us. So I think there's a lot to be hopeful for here in that there's a great opportunity for us to perhaps dictate the game in a way that we didn't at Fulham. So I quite like your team. I quite like it's more aggressive. I like the way you've moved away from 5 at the back.
Which I was always going to do.
I thought you were going to try and defend yourself heavily. It's only situational. It's only situational.
Situational. It is only situational.
Yeah. So the ideal scenario would be for Siddiqui and Xhaka to get booked, having each scored a goal and taking their top off. That's what I would like. So then we go to Man City. They're both take their suspension. We're not getting anything from that at all. And they're both back for Liverpool, where we win at Anfield.
You see, the wrong way around there.
You don't want to win at
Liverpool
Anfield
first. No, we got Liverpool first, then Man City.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, we play Liverpool on Wednesday at 8:15 kickoff. Then we've got Man City on the Saturday.
This is 2 errors in 3 pods now.
I
I'll
know.
get
Do you know
sacked in
what?
minutes.
I was gonna say we maybe have to find a new alt ending. No,
Well, you want an
I
alternate?
I think that if we're talking about these yellow cards, right?
Yeah,
I think that we obviously they might get booked at the weekend against Bournemouth, but I think you want them to play the Liverpool game because of Liverpool's
and get booked taking their shirt off having scored the winner in front of the cop end.
yeah. I think you want them to be in for the Liverpool game but suspended for the Man City game is the
Yes.
ideal. I think
Yeah, I agree.
that's the way that you play this in an ideal
Yep.
world. We talked about this the other week and you sort of dismissed this, but because we've since played, I think like maybe 2 games since we discussed the yellow card for the Mad game, it is pretty vital that they're fit for the Newcastle game, like, and they're in the team. Like, if we lost Siddiqui and Xhaka for that Newcastle game, I'd be pretty.
Isn't there like
without a paddle?
there's all sorts going on. I read some absurdity. You're not allowed to criticise him because you work with him, but Keith Hackett suggesting that the game will have to be postponed because we won't have enough players. I mean, I can see why he retired some time ago, but
I don't know. I don't understand this. I mean, also, I'm pretty sure we've had it like pretty much confirmed that
it's not going to be
we're
postponed.
not going to send the players. We're not going to send our players to AFCON a week before the Newcastle game.
No, we're not going to.
21st.
I'm pretty sure that Le Bris said in his press conference last week that it's not the FIFA rule about being compelled to release them doesn't stand. Is that right?
I think it's I can't remember who said it. Somebody had told me. I don't know if it was an on or off the record, but somebody had told me that there is no way that they'll release the players before the Newcastle game.
I don't think any Premier League club will want to release players before that weekend of fixture.
Like, I'm sorry, but if you're Noah Siddiqui, you're not going to miss this game. Like, you're going to say to your national team manager, like, no, this is the biggest game of the season. There is no way that I'm not going to play. Because the thing is especially if Sunderland are going to just finish in sort of this mid-table area, maybe we'll push for Europe, maybe we'll be lower. But if we're going to finish in this mid-table area, then the Newcastle game is the most significant match.
Apart from the FA Cup semi-final, which hot takes we're going to get to.
Yeah, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth worrying about. I would implore every Sunderland fan to ignore nonsense around us not having our AFCON players for the Newcastle match.
I agree. I just think, but it's not just us. All of the teams in the Premier League are going to be saying we want to keep our players for that round of fixtures. No one can afford to just let something pass. Except for Arsenal, who I don't think have any AFCON players in their first team.
They'll just receive.
I know, which makes a change. Once upon a time, they had all of them.
Yeah,
True. I've got some things to worry about here from Bournemouth, which I think indicates
Bournemouth, really.
Well, this indicates the way they're going to play. First of all, will Semenyo play? Because he was injured last week, an ankle problem that was picked up while he was away, and apparently that ankle problem was prior to the international window as well, and he's come back with it worse. So he didn't even make the squad against West Ham last week. So will he be in the squad? I can find no knowledge of whether he's trained this week or what the outcome is. They're probably quite quiet about it. But you would have to think that by Thursday, we would know. It would be declared whether he's fit or he's got to have an operation or something. So I think it's clearly crucial whether he plays or not. And of course, he may well be sold in January. So he may have an interest in being fit himself. I think his new contract means that you can buy him for 65 million in January. But if you wait until the summer, you can buy him for 40 million. So I would imagine people wait until the summer to buy him. But a lot will depend on this injury and how fit he is. But he may not play against us, which would be tremendous news, I think. So we don't know what's going to happen there. But when they do play, they are an aggressive side. They are second for regaining possession in the final third. So they're clearly a team that press high. They have had 73 corners, which ranks third. I think only Arsenal and another are above them, but they're third. So the corners, they're really high. Regaining possession, they're second. They have they're third for fouls. So they're clearly very aggressive in the tackle, and they've received 30 yellow cards. Only they're second. So the team that's first on both of those, final third regains and yellow cards, the team that's first on both of those is Brighton. So that's clearly another team that's quite aggressive in the final third. So they will press us at the back, and we will need. I mean, you might think that. You remember we played quite differently at the back. If we were only going to have four, do you remember those sort of lethal heart-stopping, out wide into Xhaka and then back across? Do you remember that game we played like that, trying to play out against a high press? I don't know if I can take it if we try and do that again. But the last team we played at home, I can't remember. No, it wasn't Wolves. It was before then, I think. But that was the last team we played with a high press. Maybe was it Brentford? Can't remember.
It might have been.
They came with a high press, and that was how we played. And it was heart-stopping on occasion. I just think
there was.
So, I don't know. We will have to.
I don't think it was Brentford, because I remember being on here and we were talking about the fact that we basically played no passes from the goalkeeper the first part of the season, and then it was the next game we then played passes solely from the goalkeeper. The Bournemouth game this past weekend, just as a reference.
Yeah.
They had 21 shots, West Ham had 3. They had 8 on target, West Ham had 2, which both went in, one of which was a stinker from the goalkeeper Petrovic. 76% possession, 500 passes to 119. And they also had a
Sounds like you made that number up, but you didn't.
Yeah, I know. 92% pass accuracy as well, which for a Premier League game is pretty...
whilst you want to play with 4... And whilst I think we can get at them down the left, and whilst I think they will concede, and whilst I think that they've got 4 people on potential bans for yellow cards, and if one of them gets something early, it makes the rest play a bit differently. Whilst all those things I think go in their favour, this is an aggressive, high-pressing side who have talent, and it would be really useful if Semenyo was still injured. So it's not a gimme. They're a good side.
No, I would think that playing Bournemouth... Just because they're called Bournemouth. Yeah, just because they're called Bournemouth, though. This is actually, in reality, playing 6th or 7th best team in the Premier League. Probably. Maybe 5th.
I'm not sure they're that high.
Who's
Maybe?
higher? Go on, tell us who...
I mean, you're right.
The initial top 4, who's better than Bournemouth? Like, obviously better. Obviously, there's teams you could maybe... Like, Villa, maybe.
Better. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. They've got good players. Semenyo, Kluivert, Krupi... These are good players, you know.
But where was Kluivert at the weekend? Is he on the bench? He wasn't in the squad.
He's not in the squad. Let's hope so.
Yeah, I don't know where.
So they have talent. They have talent, and he's hit some worldies already this season, Kluivert, hasn't he?
Yeah. Didn't he score the first ever penalty hat-trick as well? I seem to remember that last season against Wolves.
It's a geeky fact even I don't know.
Yeah.
Too much football manager.
So it says Kluivert sustained an abductor injury for the Netherlands. That's why he missed the game at the weekend.
He might be.
And then it says Ben Doak is out for a long time. So
Doak is out. I think Kluivert is also out. I think he's also out this weekend. So, I mean, maybe if we want to go back to our luck index of the propaganda episode, if you didn't watch it, then at the end of this, click on the link. Then maybe we might get a bit lucky with some injuries against Bournemouth here, and certainly the yellow cards they're carrying. But they have a threat. I don't mind your team. I hope, in the name of all that is holy, that we do not play 5 at the back at home against Bournemouth. This is a team, particularly if they have injuries, and particularly with the cards they're carrying. This is a team that we can have a go at, and we have to have a bit of faith that a solid midfield and our best back 4 can hold their threat. We don't often get intercepted. I mean, at the back, do we? I mean, Lefay got robbed of the ball. I think Hume has misplaced one against Burnley. He miscontrols one that Cullen takes off and scores. I think Xhaka miscontrolled one that we nearly conceded off. But on the whole, our back 4 don't really misplace a pass. So we should have a bit of faith there. against that press. And I'd play a back four. I don't mind your team. I'd like to find a space for Rigo, if I'm honest. Don't know if I can justify it. But Rigo at the right.
I think the thing that's given me a little bit of hope for this is I actually watched, because I'm a massive Leeds fan, as somebody in the comments always says, I watched Bournemouth play Leeds in like September, and they were really poor at Ellen Road. Like they got a late goal to equalise 2-2, but I wasn't impressed with them that day, and I just wonder if maybe, like, they've only won 2 of the last 8 games. I know everyone's
yes, they're on a poor run.
They're not on great form, and I just sort of wonder if we can talk about their strengths. They've got a lot of them, obviously, and it's certainly going to be no walk in the park. But they did lose 4-0 in the last away game against Aston Villa. Like, I think there is ways that we can hurt this Bournemouth team, and I think this is why the 5 at the back for me doesn't make sense. We can't worry about Bournemouth because we'll lose the game if we just worry about them. We have to think, how do we win the game?
Yeah, they're on a poor run. They are not going to want to come here and lose. They're carrying 4 players who may well start, who are on yellows. They may have some injuries. They may come here and be a bit cautious. They may not be gung-ho trying to get the win, because they will certainly be a bit concerned, you would imagine. They'll play 4-2-3-1. I think we should match them.
Yeah. So 4-2-3-1. Wow, well, that's different, isn't it? So if you're saying 4-2-3-1, you're suggesting that we're going to play with another 10, which means our boy Enzo might get a look in that 10 position.
Possibly, yeah.
Or do you just match them by playing 4 at the back?
Well, I mean, it'll be... we play in those triangles, don't we? With the full-backs, the central midfielders, and the wingers. Yeah. We play in those triangles, and Xhaka sits in the middle, deciding whether to take the long one or the short one. And then Wilson just stands really far away, waving at everyone, saying, "Hello."
I'm quick.
Yeah. We got to have a win. We got to have a win because we've got 2 tough games coming up. And we need to keep the momentum. We need to keep the confidence.
Yeah, I agree.
You seem unusually confident.
I think we've done well bouncing back from setbacks. All the time under Regis, generally we bounce back well from setbacks. So I think I went into the Fulham game thinking a draw would be a good result. I think a draw would be a good result here, but I'm confident that we will cause problems for Bournemouth, and I'm confident that I'm going to see on Saturday at 1:45 p.m. A more attacking team. I feel like the manager learns lessons, and I think
anytime Ballard score.
Nah, I think this is going to be.
Are we going to see a Petrovic goalkeeping error?
I think we're going to see Talby score off the left. That's what I think.
Not the right.
Yeah, but in terms of our scheduling, I'm just thinking about this because we've obviously got a game midweek, which is very strange for us. This is weird that we've got a midweek game. So I don't know when we're going to record next week. Do we record no propaganda next week because?
Previews. I think. Well, I don't know. I think it's people's favourites, but I don't know. I'm just guessing there on hearsay.
Okay, so if we recorded a match review of Bournemouth, say on Sunday, I don't know if Sunday works for you. This is recording as well, so everyone can see this wonderful behind the scenes conversation. Yeah, if we record the match review of Bournemouth and the preview for Liverpool on, like, say that Sunday, then after the Liverpool game, maybe we record. Oh no, we still need to fit propaganda in.
I don't mind waiting for propaganda, but I think, unless they tell me differently, I think propaganda is people's favourites.
Yeah, it
depends what we've got.
I think there'll be a lot of propaganda coming up the Liverpool game when we win.
What's gone wrong with you this week? You're full of all sorts of
optimism. Yeah. Just after seeing us lose at Fulham, I'm ready to take on the world.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure it out anyway. We'll have probably like 5 videos next week. It'll be good fun.
See what we can do.
Yeah. So follow our channels if you are not already, and like and all that good stuff. Comment. Let us know what you think heading into this game, and we will see you on the flip side after Sunderland's masterclass, hopefully against Bournemouth, and ahead of our pending masterclass against Liverpool at Anfield, a ground that we haven't won at since what year?
Wait a second. It's got to be a long time. Got to be the 80s.
I've got no idea.
You can't do that to me.
I've got absolutely no idea. But in my head, when I said it, I was like, I can remember a couple of draws. I remember Kevin Phillips scoring there once. We drew 1-1, I think, in like 2000. So I'm just going to quickly scroll through. We have not won at Anfield since, oh boy, 1983. A 1-0
Get
win.
in there, you dancer. I was going to say
Yeah,
84,
you predicted
but
a whole decade and got it right. Well done. Yeah,
Okay.
there we are. And then I
Right.
think we won there in 1981, which, if I'm correct, I believe that was the game to keep us up in the first division that year.
I wouldn't remember being rather young.
No, because wasn't that manager a Sunderland fan? Am I right in saying this?
Yep.
Oh,
Too
I
old
don't
for
know.
me, sorry. Too old for me.
Well, it's clearly too
All right.
old for me. But yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, anyway, we're rambling on here. Right, bye. I'm rambling on. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.